Greetings. My name is Doug Pearson. I'm the Vice President and Dean of Students at Mercer University. On behalf of the Division of Student Affairs and the entire university, I want to welcome you to this session. This is a session on health and safety and wellness. It's an important topic and one that we take very, very seriously. Today, you're going to hear from a variety of departments that will discuss things like how safe is a campus? What happens if a student wakes up and they're not feeling well, or they want to talk to somebody about some counseling issues? We're going to talk about how students with disabilities can get accommodations. We're going to talk about how we increase safety in the residence halls. We're even going to talk about student code of conduct violations that can lead a student to be suspended from the university and how the university deals with the tough topic of sexual misconduct. I hope you find this helpful. In the end, I plan to come back and give you a couple more remarks. But in the meantime, enjoy this video.
Hi, I'm Katie Johnson. I'm the Executive Director here at the Office of Access and Accommodation. Hi, I'm here in the Access and Accommodation Office, and we seek to serve our students that have disabilities. So any type of disability is served through our office. Students might have a chronic health condition, a mental health condition, as well as learning disabilities, hearing or visual impairments, and we seek to serve them in all ways. Our office serves students across all of our campuses. We work to serve students across all the different types of environments at the university, to include dining services, classroom accommodations, clinical settings, and all those things in housing as well. Some students will be familiar with accommodations and may come into the office with maybe previous history of using some kind of 504 or IEP. However, some college students may acquire a disability while they're in school, or maybe even have a temporary injury. Those students are also served by our office, and we seek to help them in the best way possible as well. Accommodations may include things in the classroom, like commonly testing accommodations, extended time or quiet setting, or maybe needing materials in a different format, as well as in a clinical setting where we might need to make some adjustments to how a student participates in something. So we look to serve them as best as possible with their unique needs. We encourage all students to seek services early and to contact the office with any questions they might have. Students will start the process with applying online from our website.
Welcome to Mercer University. My name is Haley Beckham, and I'm the Chief of Police for Mercer Police Department. There's a lot of questions that we get being a police department. And the first one is this campus safe? And I can tell you that yes, it is. We have a staff of sworn officers. They have arrest powers just as any other police officers in the state of Georgia do. And we are here to make this campus safe, to enforce any laws that are broken in or around our campus, and respond to any need that we have from students, faculty, staff, and even the outer base community. Another question that we get from students is how can we increase our safety on campus? And one of the main reasons I can tell you to do that is to lock your vehicles. Our number one crime that we respond to here on campus is property crimes. And a lot of that is because students will park their vehicles when they come on campus, and they might not go out to their vehicle for weeks or even halfway through the semester. So it's really important that you remove any belongings in your vehicle that can be readily seen from the window and lock your vehicle before you go into your residence. Another question that we get is about parking here on campus. And new students are required to register their vehicle. You can do that on your My Mercer, and you will be giving a colored decal based on where you live, whether that is going to be on campus or off campus. So it's really important to note the lot that you're going in and the sticker that you're being assigned. And we have officers that go around the campus and check for all vehicles to have a decal, so we know which vehicles are on campus, as well as if they're parked in the proper area. And it's really important for you to go to your My Mercer when you're registering this to go over all the parking rules so that you don't have any issues. It's important for you to know that Mercer Police does offer you a variety of safety measures. If you're here on campus, we do provide safety escorts if you're ever leaving the library late at night or you're coming on or off of campus and you feel like your safety is a concern. You can always call our office and request a safety escort. Another thing that we offer is jump starts and unlocking of vehicles on campus. Again, I know a lot of students park and they might not go out to their cars for quite some time, and you might have weather changes, and that all can affect your battery. And so we do offer those services for you. And again, as well as anything that you need, you can call us if you need assistance. It's in Mercer University has an alert system which we will send you push alerts via text message and email, and that's of inclement weather and active threats on campus. It's really important if you are going to Macon, Atlanta, or Savannah, Columbus campuses that you register for those alerts. And the way you register is as simple as sending a text message. All you have to do is text 67283 and then type in the campus in which you want to receive alerts. I highly recommend if you are a student in which you go to multiple campuses that you register for alerts in both campuses, because when we send them out, they are unique to the campus in which we're sending the alert to.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mercer University. I am Dr. Samantha Wilson Murphy, and I am the Associate Vice President for Student Affairs here at Mercer, and I work in the Division of Student Affairs. Today, I want to talk with you about our Student Code of Conduct. The Student Code of Conduct is a set of rules and regulations that govern the behavior and expectations of all of our students throughout all of Mercer's campuses. And that document gives guidance for what we expect within our community of respect. It includes the violations that we hold students accountable for, along with the sanctions if a student is found responsible for those violations, as well as all of our students' rights and responsibilities. While the Student Code of Conduct provides an overview for the types of violations that students will be held accountable for, there are specific ones that have greater consequences more so than others. For instance, if students engage in conduct such as physical assault, fire misconduct, drug misconduct, or possession of weapons, those have high consequences in terms of a student's status here at the institution. They could result in sanctions such as suspension and even expulsion. Although we have the Student Code of Conduct, it does include Mercer's interpretation of amnesty, and we call it our responsible action guidelines. And because this is so important for students to understand, I want to read to you some of the language that is included in our responsible action guidelines policy. It says the health and safety of students under the influence of alcohol and or drugs should always supersede concerns related to conduct violations and or subsequent university action. The university urges all students to recognize that violations of the law and the university have consequences, but that these possible consequences should never, and I mean never, outweigh or override the decision for providing proper care for the health and well being of a fellow student in crisis. And so, in the event there is a crisis, we want you to know in a health crisis, such as incidents involving alcohol, drugs, and or hazing, students are expected to notify the appropriate staff to evaluate the situation immediately. Please keep that in mind if you find yourself in any of those circumstances. In addition to all the information we have provided related to our Student Code of Conduct, we, like most institutions around the country, have been required by federal law to address hazing in a particular way. Beginning on July 1st, Mercer is required to provide prevention and awareness programming for all students, faculty, and staff. And because we particularly oversee the welfare of students, we oversee hazing prevention efforts to our student body. And so I want to talk to you a little bit about what hazing is and what our commitment as an institution is. We strongly support a safe and respectful and inclusive campus community that aligns with our community of respect. Hazing is a serious violation of university policy and the law. It undermines students' safety, mental health, and group integrity. Mercer maintains a zero tolerance policy on hazing consistent with both the Georgia Max Groover Act and the federal Stop Campus Hazing Act. In addition, you may be asking, what is hazing? Hazing may include any act, physical, mental, emotional, or legal, done for group initiation or membership that causes harm, discomfort, embarrassment, or violates the law. Examples include acts of servitude, sleep deprivation, forced consumption of substances, illegal activities, physical punishment, and public humiliation. Consent is not a defense to hazing, whether the student agreed to participate or not. So, what happens when hazing is reported to us? Well, we have a responsibility to report it to the appropriate authorities and through the appropriate process. So, you can make reports to Mercer Police, you can make reports to the Dean of Students office, and we even have an online anonymous reporting form called the Mercer Hazing Reporting Form. When it is reported, reports are investigated under the Student Code of Conduct. Violators may face disciplinary action or up to expulsion and even education in some instances for minor violations, or an organization can be suspended. Hazing may also lead to criminal prosecution under Georgia law, punishable up to 5 years in prison or a $50,000 fine. And so we hope that you will utilize the resources that will be sent out to all students to be educated about it. We all have a role to play when hazing is an issue of concern. And so prevention starts with awareness, education, and personal responsibility. Every person on campus plays a role in making Mercer University a safe and hazing free campus.
Hi, I'm Dr. Emily Piasek. I'm the Director of Counseling and Psychological Services. We go by CAPS. It's a whole lot easier to say.
The CAPS team is made up of myself and 3 professional counselors. We also have up to 3 interns that will be working with us. They're either from the Mercer Marriage and Family Therapy program or the Mercer PsyD program. We provide counseling on all sorts of different topics, from adjusting to college maybe when you first get here, to anxiety, depression, body image, family issues, bipolar disorder. Again, kind of you name it, we're seeing it and able to work with you on those kind of issues throughout your career at Mercer. As far as making an appointment with us, all you need to do is give us a call. Our number is 478-301-2862, and we'd be happy to get you scheduled. We have appointments that we can do in person or online, whatever you are most comfortable with. Please know that there's always a therapist on call for the university 24/7. When you do call, you're going to be asked if it's an emergency. If it's an emergency, you'll meet with a therapist on call and talk about what's going on, and we'll decide then what the next steps are. Again, you'll just call, make an appointment. We do also offer something called same-day solutions, which are for urgent needs. So maybe it's not an emergency, but you can't wait for another appointment. These are offered at 2 and 2:30 every day. And again, you'd be meeting with one of the professional staff to see what's going on and what are the next steps. Our hours are 8:30 to 5, Monday through Friday. And we also will be offering peer counseling, and so that would be something you might be interested in. We also have a group called AWARE, which is our peer educators, and they are trained to help us educate on all sorts of mental health wellness programs. So if that's something of interest, please be on the lookout for that. If you'd like more information about the Counseling Center, we have plenty of information on our website. Just check us out on the Mercer website. We also have an Instagram account, Mercer_CAPS. So if you have any other questions, please look at those resources, give us a call, and welcome to Mercer.
Hi, new Mercerians. I'm Tangela Mitchell with the Office of Equity and Compliance. Title IX is a federal regulation that requires the university to prevent discrimination based on sex. This includes prohibited conduct such as sexual assault, sexual harassment, sexual exploitation, dating and domestic violence, stalking, and retaliation. The Office of Equity and Compliance is charged with preventing, addressing, and stopping all forms of discrimination and sexual misconduct. We provide prevention training for all students, and students will receive an email containing a required sexual prevention course. Additionally, while students are here, they will undergo training and receive information on how to prevent sexual misconduct. Unfortunately, Mercer is not immune to acts of sexual misconduct. These incidents occur across the country on all college campuses. Over the past few years, reports have increased nationally. This does not mean that incidents have increased, just that through awareness and education, people are more comfortable reporting and they know where to go for resources and support. For more information and Mercer policies, you can visit our website.
Hi, welcome to Mercer University Campus Health. My name is Dr. Lynn Denny. I'm a family physician and director of Campus Health. We are so glad you're a Mercer Bear now. Think of us as your medical home away from home. We have two convenient locations, one on our Atlanta campus and one here in Macon. We offer a variety of services, including immunizations, travel health for Mercer on missions, treatment for minor illnesses and injuries, women health services, physical exams, and prescriptions when deemed necessary. We follow HIPAA regulations and we maintain strict confidentiality regarding you as our students. All Mercer students are required to have health insurance if you're a full-time student. If you do have your parents' health insurance, you may waive the Mercer student health insurance at the Bursar's website. If you do not have any health insurance, please keep your student health insurance so that you can get the health care that you need. We ask that you provide documentation of immunizations as well as a student health immunization form. If you live in the housing at Mercer, you will be asked to provide a meningitis declination form. To schedule your first appointment with us, please call either our Macon office location or our Atlanta location and schedule your first appointment. After that, you can schedule online. We look forward to being your home away from home medically, and go Bears.
Hello, Bears. I'm Saray Mapp. I'm the Associate Director of Residence Life and Housing, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about living on campus. We ensure safety in the residence halls through keys, bear cards, and resident assistants. Our resident assistants live on each hall, and then we also have live-in professional staff that are area coordinators, resident directors, and assistant directors. So your students are super safe with us on campus. We have 53 resident assistants who live on the hall, like I mentioned before, and those resident assistants are trained in community building and also conflict mediation. And we work very closely with Mercer Police and CAPS as well to provide any other additional resources to your students. Mercer is a dry campus, so that means that alcohol is not allowed for anyone, even if you're over 21, unless it's at a university-sanctioned event. Quiet hours in our residence halls are from 10 p.m. to 10 a.m. daily, with 24-hour quiet hours during finals and exams. Your residents can have guests, but they are limited to 2 guests per person, and those guests must abide by our community standards to ensure our safety. Now that wraps me up, so go Bears and welcome to campus.
I hope you found this video helpful and have a better understanding how the university increases safety of our students. In closing, I want to leave you with 2 pieces of advice. Students, it doesn't matter what we provide. Safety begins with you. It's important to use your own mind and discretion in situations and always be aware of your surroundings. Second, this is a time in your lives where we expect the students to start finding their voices. Parents, we'd love to hear from you. We will take your calls, but ask yourself before you call the university if maybe it's something your son or daughter should be dealing with first, or at least include them in the conversation. I hope you found this video helpful. If you need additional information, contact any of the departments that spoke today. And welcome to Mercer University. And as always, go Bears.